Hello everyone and welcome to PlayStation Access. I am Rosie and I'm joined today by Robert Pearson.
Hello.
And Rob is very excited to hear me talk very excitedly about Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii.
Oh, I'm very excited, Rosie. Yes.
I could see in your face, I was just like, Rob.
Been dragged up here, away from my cup of tea.
Just to hear me excitedly chat, because I went to a preview event of the game. We got to play it on a pirate ship.
I've been seeing loads of people's photos of this.
It was great fun. But either way, I played the game and I had an absolute blast with it. I had a good few hours with it, and literally when I looked at my watch, I thought, oh my god, I've got to start wrapping up now. And there was just so much to play, so much to see and do. And I just want to tell you all what it is that I got up to. The first thing I did was lots of fighting, which immediately when we booted it up, there was already like just some casual guys walking around the beach, and I thought, right, fight time. Because you may not know this, Rob, but you are playing as Majima in this game.
Yeah.
And Majima's got two fighting styles in this. He's got the Sea Dog fighting style, which is where he's in his like pirate attitude, and that's got two swords, a gun, and a grappling hook. And he's also got a Mad Dog fighting style, which is a lot more like, I know you've played Yakuza 0, so it's a lot more like his style in Yakuza 0, where they're just buzzing around, being really quick, and that's mainly punches, quickly evading, and he's got a knife as well.
So is the combat back to real time?
Yes.
Now?
So back to real time for Majima. So whenever it's Ichiban's story, that's when it tends to take the more turn-based approach. And for Majima, it's going back to the real time. But they've introduced the Sea Dog fighting style, which is new. And also he jumps. You can jump now, which is a really fun thing to do.
Is that like an addition that people have been asking for ages? Like a jump button?
I don't really know if people have been asking for it, but when I found it, I was like, oh my god, I can jump in this game now. Which is great fun because it means you can literally throw enemies up in the air and you can just start juggling them.
Aerial
combos.
Some
aerial combos,
good.
Yes.
Whilst dressed as a pirate.
Whilst dressed as a pirate, yes. Or when you're in your Mad Dog fighting style, you can customize your outfits, which I'll talk about later. But you can, like your Mad Dog fighting style, he changes back into his sort of casual Hawaii gear, let's say, because he's been washed up and he doesn't remember anything, so you just have his casual Hawaii gear there, and then when it's Sea Dog time, it's the pirate
So
mode.
this isn't Majima pretending to be a pirate. This is Majima, he's actually been washed up in Hawaii and he's forgotten everything.
Yep.
And this is just his story now.
And he becomes a pirate. So I will say we didn't really do much of the story, but from what I've seen from trailers, that is genuinely the premise. But also, you can summon gods, I guess, with instruments. So there was, for example, one god ability which was a bunch of sharks, and so Majima will play on the violin, and then just a bunch of these phantom sharks come in, and one will just pop up in the middle of the fighting arena, and then just a big shark's there. So I saw
god
that
of
one.
Phantom sharks.
Yeah, I can't remember what the official name was, but I saw some sharks, I summoned a bird, and I summoned some jellyfish as well. The jellyfish just electrified all the enemies, so I was just like, brilliant, love that. And also, you can upgrade your abilities to get stronger, like you can in the other games from the franchise. But one thing that was new, and I didn't actually see this until the end of my preview, is that you can wear rings, and you've got a whole dedicated menu. You see Majima like with his hands crossed, and you can put rings on. And these rings will also give you benefits with your fighting as well. Another thing I did, and this was a big one, is because Majima's a pirate, he's not only a pirate, Rob, he's the captain of the pirate ship. So I got to...
How's he managed to do that?
We'll
he's just washed up here.
We'll find out.
I'm the captain, everyone.
But it said, so I got to be a captain of a ship, which meant that I did lots of traversing the sea. You can boost, you've got these... rings on the sea that when you go through them, they give you a little bit more momentum. There's weather conditions, so most of the time it was a lovely sunny day, but I did have it where it then got stormy and thundery, and there was lightning crashing down.
What are the water graphics like?
They're lovely. And also, if, for example, you do want to look at just the water graphics and the scenery, you can, at any time when you're in the open sea, just go out of the ship control and walk around your ship, and also the mast at the top, you can use your grappling hook to go up there, and then you can get a really nice view of everything. But while you're on your ship, of course, there are other ships that are out on the sea. I found like a ferry where you can exchange items, but you can, you can fight other pirate ships.
Is it all just other friendly ships? No.
Yeah, it's all just a nice time out
it's
in the
fighting.
sea. Of course it is. So you have, I don't know what the term is for it, but like a machine gun, I guess, on the front of your ship to attack in front of you, and then you've got your 2 cannons on the left and the right. And it was so much fun to obliterate the ships. It was so good. Every time they popped up, I was just like, right, here we go, some ship combat. And also you can find islands which have treasure on them. And speaking of being a captain of my ship, the next thing I did was lead my crew. Because, of course, Majima is not by himself. He has a crew of pirates and just everyone with him.
Of course he does. And are they all singing sea shanties?
Oh, yes.
Oh, good.
Well, I'll come back to that later on. But, with your crew, it's similar to the management game in Like a Dragon, or in The Man Who Erased His Name. They also had other elements where you can select people, level up your bond with them so that they join you better in the fight and things like that. So with your crew, first of all, you can select people who you want to go on like the crew of your ship. So for example, you can have a first mate and they might have an ability that will benefit your ship. And then you can also have a party who are called the boarding crew, I believe it is. And that means they can fight alongside you when you're having these epic ship battles. But I'll delve more into that in a bit. But essentially, you can manage your team, level them up, get their morale going, because the higher the morale, the better they'll perform. And you can increase their XP and their morale by having feasts. So you can host a feast for a select few, or everyone who you've got equipped on your ship, you can throw a party, so then everyone can get a bit of cheer, have a good time. And also you can recruit new members when you're walking around. There might be some people who you just chat to, and then huzzah, they can be an option for you to join them on your ship. And also, with the crew, one big member of your crew, at least I thought they were a big member, is that you've got your little tiger called Goro. And I fell in love with Goro. He was the sweetest little thing. Literally, and the game knows it. Whenever you're doing anything, Goro is by your side. And he is literally like a member of the crew. You can put him in your support party, and he'll help you out. And even when you're fighting, I swear I saw Goro have a little jump at one of the enemies. Just a little attack.
So there's a tiger called Goro?
Yeah.
But isn't Majima also called Goro?
Yeah.
What shall I call my tiger? I'll
Goro.
just call it my name.
Yeah. But he's honestly so sweet. And also, when you're running around, he will give you items as well, just randomly. He'll have an item in his mouth, and you're just like, oh, thank you very much. It's lovely. And you can customize. So when I mentioned earlier that Majima's in his like pirate gear, you can customize not only Majima, but also Goro. So you can pop him in a little, I tried putting a little pirate hat on him. And then meanwhile, I made Majima like a very trendy looking man. And you can do like a little catwalk to have a little glance of what your outfit looks like. So honestly, Goro was just the sweetest little thing, and I loved him, and I just had to talk about him. The fourth thing I did was that I competed in the Pirate Coliseum, which is like your big sort of tournament arena fight, but you're on pirate ships. Honestly, it's great. The cutscene that introduces you to it starts, and there's a waterfall, and like literally the pirate ships go down the waterfall to initiate the battle. It's great fun. But these are pirate ship battles, but also when I was fighting in this pirate ship battle, I went on board my opponent's ship. So when you get their health down to a certain point, you can actually jump on their ship, and this is where your boarding crew, who I mentioned earlier, they get involved. So the people who you've selected to be in your boarding crew will join you in the fight. So literally then you will jump aboard this your opponent's ship, and then it's just an all-out battle with all these pirates going at each other. It's great fun, and there was lots of things to consider with these battles as well. For example, there's a voltage gauge, which means you can get support from your support crew, and also your opponents have their own morale boosters and things like that as well. So there was lots to consider, but it's is great fun, chaotic, and, well, chaotic in the best way. And I saw in the pause menu they've got different categories as well for the Coliseum, which I wasn't able to dive into, but I'm just very excited. I can already see myself trying to do all of these fights and be the best pirate imaginable. Finally, of course, to wrap this up, I'm going to talk about all the mini games that I played. Of course, we sung a sea shanty in the form of karaoke.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, of course.
So I did 2 karaoke songs. We had a whole selection we could choose from. But I thought I've got so much I've got to do and so much to capture, I thought I'd pick 2. So first of all, I went for 24-Hour Cinderella because it's a classic. And then I also did a song called Song of Departure, Journey to the New World, which was very much more the sea shanty vibe, but still the same fun karaoke that you love. And I also played some golf, which has been in other games from the franchise. There was the arcade and UFO catchers, which again is another classic. There was cards at casinos you can play, but it's not really a casino, it's just like a card table out and about. You've got the Allo Happy picture game, which was introduced in Infinite Wealth. I could feed animals for items as well, and it's just nice to have a little farm that you could just feed your animals with, and they give you some items in return. And then the batting center. So we've had baseball in a lot of the games from the series, but this time it's not a baseball you're hitting, it's a cannonball. So Majima is swinging at a cannonball, and there's at least the mode I played, where you have to hit barrels and get as many of them as possible. So that was great fun as well. And there's another mini game which remind me a lot of Like a Dragon Ishin, which is cooking. So Majima, if he can find a spot, he can do some cooking, and from that you can then use these food items to, for example, feed your crew with the feasts and things like that.
My big question, though, Rosie, is traditionally Yakuza and Like a Dragon have been set in quite dense urban environments, and this one is obviously a big change. We're in Hawaii, we're on pirate ships. Does it still feel like a Yakuza game, like a Dragon game?
Yeah, I definitely say it does. It's still got like the same energy, the same atmosphere. Literally, even though, for example, you're like the first area which I explored was Rich Island, which is more like a beach environment. There was still just enemies everywhere that you could clobber up. Loads of people just talking, just amongst themselves, and the things you can do. Honestly, just walking around, there's always something to look at, always something to see and do. So in the short form, I'd say yes.
Excellent. Good to know.
Honestly, I feel like I've just powered through everything that I've done with this game, and even when I wrapped up, there was so much more I wanted to do. I barely touched the story of it. I saw a few story cutscenes. So honestly, when this game comes out on PS4 and PS5 on the 21st of February, Rob, I'm just not going to be able to work for a bit because I'm going to be having a great time being a pirate, and I can't wait for everyone else to play it. And even at the event, there were some people who never played a game from this series before, and they loved it. There were some people who were more interested in the fact it's a pirate game. They loved it. So honestly, I just can't wait for everyone to try this out and then tell me how much they love it. So stay tuned to the channel because I'm sure I'm going to have lots more to say about this game in the upcoming weeks. And thank you all so much for watching. If you liked this video, please feel free to give this video a like, subscribe if you'd like to see more content like this, and hit the notification bell so that you stay up to date with everything from the world of PlayStation. Thank you all so much for watching.